And welcome back to the big game Saturday edition. This afternoon's match between the Canberra Raiders and Eastern Suburbs. And East have made a mistake already. They've kicked the ball too far. It goes over on the full. And the game is underway. It's a crucial make-or-break game for Canberra. What a big day it is in Canberra. The Canberra Cannons winning the National Basketball League Championship. And now the Raiders have it up near the halfway. Right smack in the middle, matter of fact. Well, Peter Jackson is injured. His spot taken by Bradley Clyde. But he's taken a spot in the commentary box. Good day, Peter.
Good afternoon, Fran. And a very good afternoon for Canberra. Congratulations to the Canberra Cannons on a great victory this afternoon.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Certainly hope it starts the trend of things to come for Canberra this afternoon.
Well, there's Ricky Stewart's kick for touch. It was a good one. Also good day to Richard Keeley. Richard was at the basketball on Friday night. He's here at the rugby league now. He's an international jet setter as our Richard.
That's right. I only wish I would have been there this afternoon, but you can't be in two places at once, can you? That
was big Samuel Bacco making a run down ground. There's Lazarus. He's met well by Gilmeister, who takes him round the bootlaces. This Eastern Suburbs side, of course, would like to get back at Canberra over their great preliminary final win last year. They still blame Manly for that match a week before. We never will. Oh, Walters hit very high around the head by Brendan Hall, a former Canberra player. You saw the hit nice and high up around their shoulder. This is Ferguson.
I think Kevin might have broken the line then if that tackle was a bit lower. Certainly around the chops anyway.
Not wrong. They're looking very keen early, aren't they? There's Stewart's kick. It's going to go too far, I think. It's a long kick. David Smith, replacement fullback for Gary Worth, who's another former Canberra, and tried to pick up the ball and went too far, so they'll bring it up to the 25 or the 22 as they call it now.
Certainly a confident start for Canberra, Farron.
Yeah, they're looking good. Let's hope they can keep the momentum going. Up near the 22 they are. And that's Trevor Gilmeister with the ball. Brendan Hall walking up to have a talk to the referee and walks back to his position. It's very cool here. Little overcast. Not a bad crowd here too, probably 7,000 or 8,000 people to watch this afternoon's game. East have the ball, have it through Mike McLean, they're locked forward. This is Gilmeister. He beats the first line. It's well taken though by Lazarus, bit of help from Ricky Stewart up to the 25. This is Brendan Hall. Turns around, finds outside him Elias. Got the ball back to Johnson. Johnson's got away to McLean, and he's in the touch. Great tackle that time by Ashley Gilbert. Well, up to the 22, the scrum set down. It's good, put Canberra right on the attack. The feeds by Laurie Spinner, but we've won it. Here's Stewart. Belcher. That ball across to Walters. He steps outside one. He's caught just in front of the post, 25 metres out. Here's Dean Lance. They've been caught offside, though. 4 or 5 players caught offside, and here's a big chance for Belcher to take a kick about 15 metres out.
Good scrum win against the feed, set up that penalty. Certainly the Canberra backline unafraid to throw the ball wide, and that's a good sign. I think they, if the forwards, like Don said, go forward early, I think we might have a bit of an advantage out wide.
Well, here's Gary Belcher about to line this one up. At 20 metres out. What are your considerations about the finals hopes for Canberra, Don?
Well, it all depends on today, as everyone would know, and you know, the last 2 losses haven't done them very good at all. But I, emphasise the fact that today it's a crucial one for the forwards, and I can't sort of show that out. I can't point that out as strongly as possible, because I just think our forwards are the be-all or end-all today. If they don't go well and get on top, then we can be in trouble.
There's some fair forwards out there too for East, aren't they? Like Jarvis and Elias, Mackay, Gilmeister. They're a fair forward pack. Here's the conversion attempt from Belcher, however. About 20 metres out. Moves in. The ball. It's waved away. It was a fairly easy kick, but Gary's kick has gone to the side, so it's 0-0 still after 6 minutes of play. Whips a pass away. That's Spinner. Hall. And Hall's cut down just 10 metres away from the 22. Again, it's Gilmeister. That's Jarvis. Big Pat Jarvis. Big policeman from Easts. Gilmeister whips it away to Hall. Goes across the line. That's Mackay. Mackay's caught 22 metres out. East's on the attack. What can they do with the ball? They spin it away to Gilmeister again. Got a pass away to Johnston. Johnston's pass goes astray. It's picked up, it looks like, by Hall way out there.
I think there should have been 6 tackles to go there. Mick Stone missed that. Bit of a let-off for Canberra.
Chalice. Just a few metres out. Ball whipped away across the line, goes to Spinner and Mackay. Mackay is just a few metres out. The ball goes astray again. Walters tries to dive on it. He's lost it though. Hall takes him from behind him. 6 more tackles. So East really have the pressure on Canberra now. They're just a few metres out from their line. Jarvis whips a pass away to Bell. Bell looking inside him is Morris, but Bell's cut down just a few metres out by Gary Belcher. This is Morris. That's Elias. Elias beat the first tackle of Sam Backo. A few metres out from the line. This is Spinner. All the way through. He's scored right next to the posts. So East have put first point on the board here. They've scored next to the post. They lead 4-0.
Continue with ball and under pressure in your own 25, and as Peter pointed out, you just can't be in your own 25. That was probably going into the 13th and 14th ruck, and you just can't sustain that. Fellas like Spina get the ball 2 or 3 times, and the gaps must come if you have to defend so often.
And he cut beautifully inside, and over he went. Spina scores, and East lead 4-0 now with conversion. Right in front of the post, practically.
And Canberra did well to hang on for that long, but unfortunately 2 more tackles and they would have forced East to kick, and we could have got the ball back again, but I think Canberra just got to forget about that now, get back up the other end and start defending, make sure East have to kick out from their own end.
Well, here's the conversion attempt with a score at 4-0 after 14 minutes. Canberra must win this game. It's make or break stuff, this. It's no cliche, it's true. As Smith prepares for the kick. He's right in front. They'll come in. It's foot to ball. There's no mistake about that. So East's lead 6-0 on the big game. And let's see what they can do with the ball now. East's this time through Kurt Sherlock up near the 22.
Kurt Sherlock, also a former Rugby Union International All-Black. Few of them out there today.
It's a talented side. It's surprising not to see them go better. Well, here's a big run from number 17. I think that's Smith, isn't it?
It's Wayne Chalice.
Wayne Chalice, I beg your pardon. Big run up the field by him. And he's pulled up about 30 metres out. That's Hall. East, big pressure here. Just a few metres out. That's Johnson. Johnson looking around. He finds Mackay. Mackay beats 1 tackle. Gets a pass away. It looked like to Pat Jarvis, and Jarvis is brought down a few metres out. Up he gets. This is Sherlock. Sherlock sending a pass away to Johnson. Johnson, a good pass inside to Dean Bell, and the big Kiwi is brought down 20 metres out. This is McLean. Fires a pass across to Spinner. That goes to Hall. Hall whips one away. It goes wide there to the McLean, and the ball's gone astray there on the far side.
Oh, let off there for Canberra. Certainly had 2 men over there on the left-hand side, but lucky that ball went to the ground.
Here's the ball that goes up for Gary Belcher. As safe as the bank. Great take by Belcher. Morris put a lot of pressure on him, but he's taken it near his posts. So Canberra backpedaling, 6-0. Well, Anthony Moore's on the sideline. A lot of pressure for Canberra in this game so far, mate.
Yeah, Eastern Suburbs are playing very well. They've got good ball security. They're playing it well, controlling everything. Canberra really need a spark at the moment. They haven't had much ball. Let's see what they can do with it here.
How's your long johns down there, son? It's a bit cold, is it?
Yeah, I've got my sheepskin on, so it's not too bad.
Well, here's Canberra. Canberra must do something. Glenn Lazarus has the ball. He's just a few metres up from the line. Stewart looking this time for Gilbert. Backo, I beg your pardon, and Backo's brought down. Walters, a dummy half. Fires one away. Back to Stewart at the back. He kicks one high and long. This is a good kick from Stewart. It'll go at a touch. Ricky Stewart's kicking game comes to the fore from the back. He leaped across and whipped it across the line. Good kick by Stewart. So 6-0. 23 minutes to go in the first half. Canberra must put the pressure on here, Jacko.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to come up with 6 points in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Certainly before half-time anyway.
Well, there's the scrum. Gee, the scrums have looked scrappy this year, Don.
Well, see that Sam standing up or just won't go down. You've got to go down first, and you can't just wait for him. We're going down last all the time, and we've just got a sloppy scrum.
Well, there you go. That's what happens from it. Referee awards the East the penalty. So Canberra, who could have put pressure on East, are now backpedaling again. by the scrum spinner from the back of it. Charges through. Stewart picks him up.
Certainly our aim here would be to keep them in that corner and for the 5 tackles and make them kick out from deep in their own half. See how we go on that one.
That's Michael playing with the ball. East's up near the 22. So again, the pressure a little bit off them.
East Camp don't think that Dean Lynch will be happy.
So a little controversy on the sideline, but Canberra have got the ball just a few metres out. This is Clyde in the tennis. Outside him is Jackson. Looked for him, but couldn't find him. Jacko wanted the ball. Ferguson wanted the ball. This is Ferguson, about 15 metres out. Crabwise across the field. He nearly got under one tackle, but he's brought down just a few metres out. On the attack, Walters. Walters fires a pass across the line from Bellamy to Belcher, and Belcher's caught about 15 metres out. Canberra on the attack. The crowd enlightens to it. Walters kicks through, and it's well picked up out wide.
That should be 6 to go.
That's Clyde with the ball. Across the line it goes. Stewart, up and under. Up it goes high. Smith waits for it. The boys missed it altogether. I tell you, this is going to be interesting. Walters has got it up. They've got it over about the far side.
6 tackles to go.
Stewart has it.
They've got 6 tackles. There's no need to panic.
So the pressure's on. Ellis just in front of the line. He tries hard, but he's brought down by some good defence. It looked like Mackay and also Jarvis in there. Up he gets. Walters. This is Bacco. Bacco's caught just a couple of metres out. He's going hard. He's just put up just short. The Canberra Raiders on the attack. 6-0 the score.
Sam special, that was.
Walters. He's close. It's there. Gary Coyne has scored right underneath the post, and look at the crowd. Great try. Well, that came after some concerted Canberra pressure after a loss of the ball by Easts.
It's a Gary Coyne special. I don't know how many times he scored a try against Eastern last year's semi-final, if you remember. Don doing exactly the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. When Sam went up there first, that loosened it up, and then Gary come as hard as ever, as you said, one of his specials.
Well, there's the girls, so they cheer. Great try, Canberra. Grant Ellis crashing his way over right in the middle. And Canberra equalise at 6-all. On the mid-game, 6-6, Canberra Easts. That's Hall. Easts. Sherlock sort of pass away to McLean. McLean comes down, beautifully met by Belcher, though. About 20 metres out. Good tackle. Bill. Morris. Morris cuts out, and it goes to Gilmeister. Then a pass away to Johnson. Then a pass back to Hall, and Hall's brought down just a couple of metres out. Spinner wheels the ball away, and here's an easy pass for McLean to go over and score. McLean scores for Easts, and it's 10-6.
Well, we're just short on numbers out there on the left-hand side then.
There's no urgency there, Peter, in adjusting there. You watch them under the goalpost. It went 3 times to there, and then when the ball come back 3 passes, I watched the fence hadn't even moved 3 yards to the side. So they've just got to be interested enough to get across there. They can see it, sense it, and where we've been very good at it early in the year. I know we've got a few new players out there, but they've got to communicate. Otherwise, as I said, they'll run up another 10 or 12 points if we don't do it. We just got to get across because they just played it to the centre there and switched it back.
Well, here's Smith's kick now. Big crowd here. Victor the Viking trying to get them going. You can see Smith, referee just in front of him as he lines it up. Puts foot in the ball. No mistake. It's a great kick. So with 10 minutes to go, East 12, Canberra 6. Canberra with the ball. That's Ferguson. Ferguson up there to halfway. Can Canberra come back with a penalty? Overexertion in the tackle. And Canberra will look for touch through Ricky Stewart. Well, that's a breather for Canberra. Easts are still making inroads up the middle. Stewart.
Playing good football, East. I think they're making the good yards in the centre. Then they're putting a bit of a play on out wide and catching Canberra short.
Arthur Beetson
Controlling the football very well.
I had to say Arthur Beetson is probably wondering why they haven't been playing that sort of football all year. Here's Easts. They've ripped the ball out of Waller's hands and they've got the ball. That's Gilmeister.
That's just not concentrating, Peter, is it? You just got to make sure of the ball. You just can't make excuses. You know they're going to try and get it off you somehow, and you just got to close it up.
5 minutes before half-time. There's Gilmeister. He's lost it behind him. McLean picks it up. Ricky Stewart tries to grab him. Finally, he gets him and brings him to ground. McLean gets up. That's Smith. Long kick. Belcher chasing. It'll be too late. Makes about 35, 40 metres. Good kick by him. And the scrum will be set down just inside the 22 in Raiders territory. East's well on the attack here. They're in front 12-6. They've got everything to gain. Canberra everything to lose. As Ricky Stewart comes up to feed the ball. 6 minutes before half-time. He wins it well from the base. That's Belcher. Belcher made a half break there. Looked for a moment like he could get through. But Stewart was there to bring him down. Bellamy. Bellamy's brought down by Gilmeister. Bit of help there from Hall. Lance. Backo. Pass across to Stewart. Then to Walters. Martin does well to pick up it. Well, yes, out. He's taken nearly into touch, but does well to keep inside it. Stewart. Another kick. And it goes out again.
Another fine kick there from Ricky. So that was well picked up by Paul Martin out there on the run.
Yeah, I just made a comment then. I said it was well picked up. It was a great pickup because it was a terrible pass, though, Tony.
I think Canberra still have to go forward before they start to throw it wide. In the first 10 minutes, they were making good yards in throwing it wide and looked a threat to East, but that should be a penalty to Canberra not retiring yet.
So the penalty goes to Canberra. Here's pressure. Penalty goes to them about 10 metres out from the line. And Ricky Stewart has it. He'll look for touch. And there's Steve Walters with the ball in his hand. And this is Canberra's turn to put them into attacking. Sam Backo surging up the ground. Up he gets to play the ball. Ashley Gilbert.
Coin special again.
Yep, we'll see a big corny burger can do it here. This is Stewart with the ball in his hand right now. Directs play. Looking outside him, who's he got? He's got Lazarus. Hard-working young fellow, the rookie of this Canberra side. Stewart. Stewart looking around. Beats one, he's over. Good try, Ricky Stewart. Sold him the biggest dummy since Woolworths went into shop market processing. And Stewart goes over to score.
If you have a look at this, actually, Ashley Gilbert's supposed to run inside Ricky Stewart and receive the ball, but as it worked out, Ashley bumped him, Ricky straight through the defence and over the line.
Well,
could be one for next year, Donny.
Call that one the pinball.
It was a pinball.
It's like a dwarf throwing competition.
That's the other option, Peter. That's it.
That's plan B.
Well, Ashley Gilbert, the new rampaging player. Well, Tony Moore's down there talking about it. Tony, it wasn't a bad effort at rampaging, was it? Actually, Gilbert's the new barrager for Canberra. So the score 12-10 as Gary Belcher is about to line up an important kick.
We're going to show that one again?
We'll show it again in just a tick. Yeah, great try.
Actually, Canberra scored in the last year's grand final. Chris O'Sullivan's try was from exactly the same move, and a bit of it, like Don said, we played the option on that occasion, and it worked too.
Well, there's Gary Belcher. This is a pretty important kick. This could level it up right on half-time. 12-10. It's either East players hustle next to the post. As Belcher lines her up. There he is from head on. Crowd behind him, a good one at that. Then comes Belcher. Put the ball. Looks pretty good to me. 12 all it is at Seaford, practically on half-time. There's the try again. Ricky Stewart. Gilbert. Gilbert's pushed him. And Stewart's momentum has taken him over. Good try. The final one from Seaford Oval for the season as Gary Belcher is about to line this up. As he gets ready, let's talk to Richard Keeley and find out the stats for the first half.
Stats for the first half, tackle-wise, first of all for the Raiders, their top tackler was front rower Glenn Lazarus with 11. The second row was Gary Coyne, and Ashley Gilbert made 9 tackles in the first half, and also up there was Sam Backo, he made 7. For the Roosters, their top tackler was Pat Jarvis. And also Trevor Gilmeister had 8 tackles, and on 7 tackles was the 2 second rowers Mackay and Elias, and also 5'8" Brendan Hall made 7 tackles in the first half. The missed tackles, the Raiders made 9 to Eastern Suburbs 7 in the first half, and there was 1 tied head to the Raiders.
Well, Anthony Moore is down the sideline, and a bit of controversy just in front of the post as I watch. Confusion for Canberra, and here's a good chance for them. They're right near the line. They've scored. Great try, Canberra.
Yeah.
After some East confusion, Don Ferner, that was unbelievable. Ashley Gilbert, right next to the posts. And Richard Keeley's done it again. Every time he does stats here, someone scores a try. That's the kick by Smith. Gilbert chased through. It bounces one way. He turned around, and is it Coyne or Gilbert? He picks it up well, and over he goes to score right beneath the posts.
Gary Coyne actually charged down the kick, and Ashley got the try.
So, great try.
It's just what the Raiders needed.
Yep. It's a saver, all right. Well, actually, Gilbert scored a try, if I remember rightly, last year too against Easts. So a few of the last year's happenings coming back to haunt them as Barry Belcher lines this one up. He's about 12 metres out, practically in front of the post, just a couple of metres to the left-hand side as he works his way in. Waved away, no goal from Gary. So Canberra leads 16-12 after 1 minute play in the second half. The crowd to their feet as Big Sam came down the ground. It's a pass away to Bellamy. Bellamy gets one back to Coyne. Coyne's brought down inside Raiders territory. That's Walters. Stewart again, the big kick. It's another long kick from Stewart. His kicking game's absolutely perfect today. That's pinpoint. That's made about 40 metres. And Canberra put pressure back on Easts.
John Ferguson, if that ball stayed in, then John Ferguson was actually winning the race. So probably a bit lucky, he said, that the ball did bounce out.
So Canberra looking much more confident in the second half, Don.
Yeah. The two things they've done is they've charged down and also that couple of rucks, and then they've kicked it way down into their territory.
Well, here's the scrum being set down. Ricky Stewart to feed. This will put Canberra a higher ball just in front of their line. Stewart picks up, wins it. Bellamy. Belcher. He's beaten 3 defenders, and he's just 10 metres out. Canberra, the momentum going, 16-12.
There's been a knock on there by Gary.
As the scrum is about to be set down in front of the posts. And Spinner to feed.
He'll be extremely disappointed with that, Gary. It's not like him at all.
Laurie Spinner just in front of the posts. Canberra hanging on to a 4-point lead just into the second half. They've got to hold on to the lead. There's no two ways about it. As Easts, enthusiastic as they ever were at the start of the year, have the ball now. That's Johnston. Beg your pardon, it's Chalice. East just over the halfway, that's Johnston. Gilmeister. And finally Sherlock has it. Walters and Lazarus push him back. Easts with the ball through Smith. He's about 5 metres out from the touchline. Slowly up to play the ball. Kick's gone out in the full from Kurt Sherlock. So after 3 minutes of the second half, it's still 16-12 as the scrum will be set down. More pressure from Canberra. Fair-sized crowd this afternoon too, Jacko, I see.
Yeah, official attendance 6,789, which is a good crowd.
Lance comes back from the wide position, picks it up. Good scrum win for Canberra, just 22 metres out. There's Gilbert. He tries to push up Pat Jarvis. Walters. That's Becco. Becco making a good run down the ground. He's got to pass away. Went along the ground to Bellamy. Bellamy beats the first 2 lines. Canberra looking enthusiastic like they did in the first half. Hope they can keep it up. A danger period here from East. But again, the mistakes brought the scrum.
Another crucial error there.
Five
can't afford to let them off the hook that easily. We've got to keep the pressure on them.
Lance brings the first attacker down. And East to get back at momentum. Just inside their 22, bring it away. It's Gilmeister. And that's Pat Jarvis. Canberra have got a tackle. And there they are, right doing it right now. That's Lazarus. Coyne, who's ever worked hard, but here's East back on the attack again, putting on the pressure. And Morris making another great run down the ground. But Martin's there to bring him down. Across the line it goes. Hall cuts out Bell and Sherlock, who are up in the play. He's trying to do something with the ball now. This is Johnston. Just over the halfway. Up they get to play the ball. Here's the kick in from Smith. Taken well by Paul Martin. And Martin goes up to the halfway where he's met by Johnson. Up he gets to play the ball, and McLean there too. There's McLean's opposite number, Lance. Lance back to Kevin Walters. Kevin Walters, keen as mustard, makes his way up to near the halfway before he's brought down. Stewart directing play cross field, has the ball now in his hands. Whips one away on the flick to Bacco. Bacco tries to charge out of a tackle, but he's brought down with some good East defence just on the halfway. Here's Walters. Canberra looking all right. Here's Stewart. Stewart fires it back now to Bellamy. Bellamy's kick is long. It's too long, matter of fact. And they come back to the halfway. 16-12. Canberra holding on to a 4-point lead as East go with it. This is a real make-or-break one for Canberra. They've got 30 minutes in which to win it. They lead 16-12. The ball goes to ground. Canberra picked it up through Coyne. Referee says play on. Walters. Gilbert. Gilbert away this time to Bellamy. Bellamy's found the gap. He makes half a gap. Still goes through. Makes it down ground, but Kai's there to bring him down. Gilbert. This is Belcher. Belcher's kicked through. He's been flattened.
Oh, there was a try then too.
Belcher is down.
That was a certain try then, Don. What would you say?
Yeah, Gary would have been through there. He'd have beat him to the ball, yes.
Gary Belcher has been floored right in front, about 20 metres out. Here's the replay. And look at Belcher. What a high tackle that was too from Johnston. So
looks like they'll be looking for a goal kicker. I think Ricky Stewart might step in. He can do everything else with he can kick it, drop kick and punt kick, so I can't see any reason why
he can kick goals. He can.
So
right. Gary looks like he's all right.
Belcher gets up. That was an absolutely cracking tackle that time. Well, 16-12 it is as he prepares for the kick. And he comes. No mistake about that one. So Canberra lead East's 18-12 at Cephas. Goodness gracious me, 18-12. Canberra lead East. Smith. Gilmeister. Gets a pass away. That's Dean Bell out there. Before Bell's hit. Bellamy was the man underneath his bootlaces. Whips the pass across that time to Mackay. Dropped it. Here's a go. Ferguson. John Ferguson. Whoosh. The crowd was one as he started to speed up and the legs were going hell for leather. Walters. Gary Belcher, fullback. Lazarus. Surging into some good defence from East. Bringing him to ground just over the halfway into East's territory. It's Walters. Belcher turns and finds Lance. Great run by Dean Lance.
Lovely ball, Gary Belcher. Yeah. I think they've got to move the ball here.
Coyne himself up near the 22. Canberra, will they get a beat here, Stewart? Up goes the kick. It's a big kick too. Let's see what happens. He's trying to get under it. Ball's been charged down there. 6 to go, and there's Bellamy. Bellamy just
move the ball to the right.
Here's an important chance for him. Canberra 18-12. Luck going a little with them at the moment. Walters. Penalty. Well, that is a crucial penalty. Walters, let's watch it again. Walters is knocked down. The ball goes to ground, and a penalty right in front of the sticks.
It's just about worth 10 in the bin, that one. Remember Laurie Daly getting sent off last week for a similar offence.
So Gary Belcher lines this up. I think we can safely say that Canberra's got to play a lot better than this, though, to make the finals, Don, or do well in the finals.
Just the personnel put together like that, we haven't played. I don't think we were enthusiastic enough in our defence there today to get up and plus hitting the line, but it's just new players in there, I suppose, a little uncertain, and it sort of makes it look like they can certainly play better than what they're playing today.
Here's Gary Belcher's conversion attempt of the penalty. Was awarded right in front of the post. You can see how strong that wind is, Anthony Moore, but the ball's fallen over again.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened today. The wind's very strong. Canberra, the problem I think Canberra is they've lacked combination really right throughout the year. They haven't had a settled side, and I think we're seeing the problems coming out now.
Dean Lance still appears to have shoulder problems. He talked to the trainer in the background. Seems to be in a little bit of pain at the moment. It's more like his collarbone. May have to come from the field. There's Gary's kick. No mistake about that one. So Canberra are going well here. They lead 20 to 12. Johnson. Sherlock. Spinner. Jarvis, the captain of Easts, loses it back. Hall did well to get it away. This is Sherlock. Can't get out of Coyne's tackle.
He's a good trial for East today, Sherlock. He just keeps trying to go forward, doesn't he?
There's been a lot of tries for East today. There's one of them, John Mackay, 30 metres out. There's Gilmeister with a ball in hand, whips one away to Hall. Hall steps, he's been dangerous at times. He beats the first line, got out of Ashley Gilbert's tackle, but Bellamy was there to get him. Across the line, Gilmeister. It's a good pass away to Morris. Morris is dangerous, just 10 or 5 metres out. Here's East with plenty of room to move. Spinner, he's close. He's in. Trying to Spinner right underneath the posts. A fairly soft try for Easts.
Oh, terrible soft try. Canberra very disappointed with that.
Getting back into position. 3 rucks and no one getting back into position quickly. You've got to get back into that straight line ready for the next play the ball. And we were slow. We were going back all the time in those 3 rucks towards our line.
So Spinner scores an easy try. And Easts get back within 4 points here. It's been a tough match, this one, for Canberra. So they're holding now only a 4-point lead, and this one's from right in front of the post, and Sherlock will take this one. Sherlock moves in. No mistake about that kick. Easy kick it is, so it's 20 points to 18 now. Only 2 points in this, with 15 minutes to go at Seaford. Well, here's Stewart about to feed it. They've won it. He goes the side here. He's cut down just a few metres out. The crowd on edge. Here's the ball now, swept through Clyde. Clyde out there with the ball. Corkery, a dummy half. Matthew Corkery goes himself. He's beaten the first line, Corkery. He's beaten the second. He could be a hero here. He's only 2 metres out. Walters. Stewart's pass is long for Belcher. Outside him is Martin. He can't get away. Now he does. Bellamy fires a pass that goes to Walters. And Walters is just a few minutes out, but it hits him. Oh, for goodness me. Canberra in trouble here.
Slowest bloke. Well, lucky it wasn't Spinner or someone like that.
Gilmeister up against to play the ball.
I reckon you could have caught him then, Don.
You and me, Don. Tessa. Johnston. Slowly up to play the ball. Walters trying to get it out. He can hardly even stand up.
He's a sick boy, that.
His knee's gone completely there. He's in quite a deal of pain. Back to the game, though. Bell. Morris steps away from Corkery. Does the same with Clyde. Then beats Coyne as well. But Gilbert takes him very high. Gilbert's knocked out of the road. Easts leading 2018. Here's Hall. He's dangerous. East have lost it. Canberra come up with it just near the halfway. Coyne. Walters. Glenn Lazarus. Half gap. Brought down. Good tackle that too by Gilmeister. Belcher. Gilbert crashing his way down ground. 30 metres out. The crowd cheering. They're enthused. Here's Belcher. He sees a gap. Gets a pass away this time. Goes to Clyde.
Yeah, they must have players out wide on the left there. You can see they're short.
Walters. Bellamy. Stewart. 28 in it is. Stewart nearly getting out of the tackle. He's brought down just a couple of metres
Still
out.
short on the left-hand side.
Corkery himself. Bellamy trying to direct play along with Stewart and Walters. Walters is there behind him. He'll go himself as well. No, he won't. He gets a pass away to Coyne. Coyne did well to hang on to the ball.
It's a try.
He gets a pass to Walters. That could be the sealer. Great try by Canberra.
Gary Coyne, great work by Gary Coyne there.
Gary Coyne blasting out of the tackle. Back to Walters. And Walters is in, and that's the cheer. That little fellow there sums it all up. Canberra.
As you can see here, Steve Walters takes from dummy half. Unloads back to Gary Coyne. He beats one, beats two, draws the fullback and passes a lovely ball inside to Kevin Walters, who's underneath the post.
Great try by Kevin Walters.
You can see Kevin's grin from here.
That was a great, just what we needed for that time.
So that's it. One try to Gary Coyne and one try he's set up. So Gary's probably having he's having a top game here today. Yeah, he certainly is.
24-18. It won't go down as one of Canberra's most convincing wins, but a pretty hearty encounter. A good gutsy effort from them.
Just keeps them in for the 1988 season. That's the big thing. That's the most important thing, was to get the 2 points. Doesn't matter how you got them today. You just had to come up with 2 points so you could go on to play next week. It means something. So next week, it's an important game also.
Well, our other news today, we believe, is that Balmain are leading Penrith, and also yesterday's win by Brisbane, so I'll have 3 on 28 to next week's final round, and what a crucial weekend that is. The ball will have to be lined up. Hall hits it down ground, and it's well picked up by Stewart. This is Matthew Corkery. Corkery's brought down about 20 metres out.
Matthew hasn't done anything wrong since he's come on. He's made a couple of breaks. He's done well to build his confidence up. I was talking about him last year when he was playing that well, that he's a next winger for Australia, to play for Australia. So it's great to have that sort of talent coming back.
Well, Canberra, with Ellis making a good run. He's played well this year too, Don, hasn't he?
Yes, no, he's always had ability. Right? We've kept him here on the books for a good long time. But he's had a lot of injuries over that period of time.
Taslim, just in front of his line.
That's a good chase, Peter.
Craig Bellamy, yeah.
Ankle tapped him, stopped his pace. Corkery's there to bring him to ground with John Ferguson. You can see running away there with Corkery over the top. Up against to play the ball. He's still hanging on. 26-18 it is. East up in front of their line. Canberra enthused now. They lead 26-18. 8-point buffer. There's 5 minutes to go. The clock has stopped. Easts with the ball. Through Smith. Up against to play the ball. Through Hall, I beg your pardon. Up against to play the ball. That's Sherlock. And one of the East players coming from the field.
Laurie Spina.
So Spina leaves the field. And Canberra still hanging on to a 26-18 lead. There's the ball in the air. And there's Jay Ferguson, set for try number 20. Steps off his feet and he's plummeted to the ground, though. Up there to get him was Dean Bell. Corkery. That's Ricky Stewart, who's had a very good game today. He's lost the ball, though. I jinxed him as per usual, and the ball goes into touch. Player an injured 2 for Canberra, I see, across the other side of the field.
Number 20 running on for East. Doesn't look too good.
No, there's Coyne down.
Paul Baines is East replacement.
Baines coming on. Coyne is down at the moment. For Canberra, right in front of where that player's running through the gap now. That's Tassel.
That's a good run.
Up he gets to play the ball. That's Bell. But he's met by some good defence. Stewart and Clyde under his bootlaces. Tassel again. Out wide is Mackay. He's got out of the first line of defence. Got a pass back that time to Hall. Hall back to Kurt Sherlock, and he's brought to ground. Is Mains. Ball goes to ground, so Canberra come up with it. Leading by 8 points. Well, here's a big run being made by Walters, just over the 22. About 20 metres out from the halfway line, up to get to play the ball, away to Stewart. There's a good long kick down ground. And it's picked up at the back. And East now trying to make something before this game is finished. Tassel. Gilmeister. Ball goes across the line, and finally it goes to Bell across the far side of the field, but he's brought down. A good tackle by Corkery.
He's also tried hard today for Eastern Serves. Dean Bell, I think he's looked danger whenever he's had the ball, and he's certainly been involved for a sinner.
26-18. Next week, the Gold Coast. Next Saturday night, so we'll know by Sunday how Canberra are going. And of course, they've got to then wait to Sunday to see what happens then. I think Balmain have a crucial game next week against Brisbane.
That's right.
So, what a weekend it's going to be in football next weekend. Stewart trying to go across with that one that Morris kicked, but it's went into touch. So a scrum to be set down on the 22. A big day in Canberra. Both the Raiders and the Cannons have survived. This is good news.
The Cannons have done a bit more than
survive. Yeah, exactly. That's Stewart.
They play tonight, don't they?
No, they played today. They won.
Did they?
Yeah, they won the final.
Oh, good.
Isn't good news for you, Don, back to Canberra now?
I didn't even know. That was great.
Here's Beats the first line. Couldn't find Bellamy outside him. He was racing through, and also Belcher. With Walters there. Walters down ground. Belcher's pass across. And here's Ferguson. Ferguson is absolutely flying. Tazzle coming at him. And Bell. And Ferguson goes to ground. He's enthusiastic. Gets up quickly. Back to Corkery. Corkery to Belcher. Belcher kicks through. The ball's charged down though. And Ferguson picks it up. Just 20 metres out. There's the hooper. Canberra have done it. The crowd goes wild. Great win to Canberra. They win 26-18.